of the map in this game to throw it all to try and get this victory versus T1, versus the world champions. And I have to say, a lot of credit to Umpty in that game as well. When you're on a Rek'Sai, it is so hard to not die in late game team fights, and he was able to snowball the lead really well. Let's get into it though, because guess what? Talia will not be in this game.
We were talking about this in the break, saying if you're TL, do you just ban Orianna, Azir, and Talia? I think you do. I actually think that's what you got to go for. We saw in game number 1 that the pressure bot lanes aren't as powerful as they once were, because 100%, if you're T1, you be on Orianna. This is a no-brainer, and TL, they got to know this, so I'm sure they have something ready.
All right, so much up and available now, and Team Liquid this time around on the red side are going to have to do the two-side trade. They did a little shout out there with the Twisted Fate. There's no way you blind a Twisted Fate though into Zeus. So let's grab bottom lane first. The Kalista was quite impactful, but then what do you pair with it? Do you need to slam something very quickly here for APA? He can always rely on a Ziggs or something later. You could, if you want to, drop mid lane. Or maybe you go with the Ziggs now. Okay, they're not going to go for it later. They don't think that T1 are going to forget about it. And so they shouldn't. Yeah.
And we've seen Orianna winning the Orianna into Aurelion Sol matchup a couple of times. Caps exemplifying how that matchup can go. So instead, the Ziggs an early pick here for TL. It's only the second time we've seen them on the red side this series. Games 2 and 3 were TL on the blue. And here, once again, T1 on blue side get their center.
All right. Is it going to be followed with Karia's Tom Kench or Karia's Ornn? They go the Ornn side of it. Now, Renata is available for TL if they wanted to snatch a Renata and go with that power duo on the bottom side. I mean, we saw how much pressure BLG, of course, it's Elkanon, but they were able to put onto that Senna with that exact matchup. And I don't think Renata will survive another round of bans.
Makes sense though, because compared to the Kench, which I think Inter specifically, the poke of Ziggs doesn't have nearly as much value. With Ornn, you can at least guaranteed start fights. T1 though, Guma, no notes. Has been having a great series, has been trying his very best, but particularly Faker and Keria, I think really struggling. This time around on the Orianna, we need to see a big bounce back from the GOAT himself. Tournament hasn't been necessarily going the best for him, and specifically into APA, onto one of his one tricks, a lot of players have kind of thought that they could take it and really struggled.
And Core JJ going to be on the rel. He opts for that instead to be the main point of engage. Core JJ, the team captain, the big shot caller. And with TL also banning out the Twisted Fate, they cannot double ban junglers now. So Owner is going to get something that can deliver a shockwave. Things like Jarvan, the Vi, both of those junglers very good at combining with Orianna to deliver that guaranteed engage. And since they dropped one ban onto Zeus already with the Twisted Fate kind of protection there, it's going to leave something open.
I wonder if TL actually want the Jarvan for themselves. You already have Magna Storm, you have Cataclysm, you have the Super Mega Bomb as well, the Super Mega Inferno Bomb coming out from the Ziggs. You have a lot of zone control in team fights. For T1, as you say, the Vi being a possibility allows that Orianna to get off the backline. You've got the Call of the Forge God for a long-range initiation as well. So both comps actually rounding out into very powerful team fighting threats. The question is, who finds that initiation potential that can really push them over the edge?
And Cassante is getting picked. We just had a Twisted Fate and a Camille ban.
We know.
So Cassante is getting picked.
We know what's happening here. This one is a no-brainer. Vi also gains a ton of value. I mean, this is TL saying, we know what's going to happen. They keep leaving open that Vayne.
Yeah, Yon is cold, man. Yon is calling him out on the Vayne. Hey, are you going to do it again? I will say, though, I think probably the Jarvan is, it's a good combo. It's not that great into the Kalista, but I feel like it's really good at delivering the shockwaves.
I like the Jarvan as well. Instead, it looks like it's going to be jungle. Last pick here for TL. Cassante picked in first. It's like, are you going to go for the Vayne again? It's been kind of okay, but is it enough to deal with this Cassante as the game goes on? The Smolder call out from Guma as well against Yon. Both the AD carries having a bit of fun as we go through this series. TL's lives on the line. It is Vayne locked in. T1 as well can look for Owner's Poppy once again.
Yeah, Poppy is definitely much better against the Kalista than the Jarvan is. Isn't as good at delivering the shockwave, but don't necessarily need a delivery when you've got Faker at the helm.
Not only that, but with the Ornn, you also at least have a way to guarantee start fights. One of the few issues that Poppy can have is that if you are not able to get onto the enemy, and there is a lot of zone control with that Ziggs, it can be hard to reliably find the lockdown for Umti. Not necessarily known for his insanely deep champion. Has pulled out a couple of pocket picks. The Lilia is one that he always used to play. Old Skarner was a personal favorite of his. We'll see what he's going to go towards. A little bit of encouragement there coming through from I think APA.
Yeah,
I'm not
was,
sure
yeah.
on the angle there. And it is going to be the Lilia. Oh, yep. That's an Umti special right there. Does mean that you have 2v2 AP, or a double AP rather, in your mid jungle 2v2. It can be a bit tricky, but he loves this pick, loves playing aggressive on it early.
I think that's what that shoulder rub was. He was like, don't worry, you don't have to come mid. I'm going to survive. Maybe that was some reassurance.
Run around the map, my dear.
Some reassurance, go ahead, go play some farming Lilia.
Especially with how Umti and APA have talked about each other in interviews and whatnot.
Yeah.
I imagine that that's exactly what was being said.
What a composition from TL at the end. Comfort for them, Ziggs in the mid lane for APA. Alongside that, the Lilia, something I think we've only seen from Yike on G2, was against T1 as well. They lost that game. Can TL fare a little better? They've already climbed the majority of the mountain, just now the pinnacle to crest. If they can take this 2-2, it all comes down to one final best of one.
Well, I know, and talking to a lot of the TL members, they have so much respect for G2 and the players and the champion picks that they have been pulling out, and do want to emulate their success. Let's see if TL can do it. Again, every single game is a must-win game here.
Been a lot of things this MSI that haven't gone according to what was expected coming in. PSG pushing BLG. G2 not only pushing T1, but then getting a 3-0 sweep over TES, and TL, they're going to try and replicate that here as well.
T1, things not going as expected as well. Assumption was they'd roll through the West, make it easily into those later stages. They've already been pushed by G2, now challenged by Team Liquid. Faker has been struggling as well in this mid lane, partly because he's been targeted in pick ban, but partly also because he has been underperforming compared to where he was in the LCK playoffs. Carrier getting forced away a little bit in the bottom lane here by Yon. Should have time to recall and get back to the lane.
Because I want to reiterate again, so Faker has always been the most important part of this T1 roster. We saw that last year when Poby came in, when he wasn't there to be the shot caller, to be the kind of core of the team, keeping everyone on track, keeping everything together. But in the LCK, this split, if it wasn't for Chovy, Faker's laning stats just in the 1v1, just with him playing against players like BDD, like Showmaker, like Zeka, he was still exceptional. Like, the drop-off isn't necessarily about the fact that T1 is struggling when Faker is struggling. That's been the case for a really long time, but his individual performance just hasn't really lived up to what this player has shown, obviously, throughout the last couple of years, but specifically this spring split in the LCK was looking like his best domestic split in years, and he needs to replicate that performance here, because him getting caught was the end of that last game, and his Orianna, he has almost never failed to deliver.
Faker's Orianna, legendary. And we saw in the lane swap here in the opening moments some visual confirmation on Impact, so Guma was able to chase him down and stacking up souls on Impact while Impact tries to gain experience once again. The same strategy of trying to soak up the experience, whereas T1 always bring Zeus straight on down.
Owner here on the Gromp.
I've seen this before.
Yeah, Umti was able to steal away his wolves, which sounds a little bit weird when you think about it, but it's the weak side of his map, so he'll be one camp up, assuming he moves into T1's blue side next.
Yeah, and Umti wants more. He's going to take away his own Krugs as well here on the Lilia, and it's especially even more important with this type of champion. Lilia, of course, one of those power-clearing AP champions from the jungle, as Impact says hello to Owner again.
We will charge into the wall. Hammer Smash coming down as well. Impact's going to have to pop the Ghost here. We'll be able to escape from the clutches of Owner, but he's just trying to be a nuisance. He's just trying to keep Owner busy.
Oh, Owner trying to call the bluff, because Impact obviously is going to think that Owner is going to make his way back.
They're going to check. They're going to check.
How do you get out of this, Impact? Guma's on the chase. Last embrace. Impact dashes perfectly and escapes the clutches of the T1 bot laner. And while all of this has happened, Owner isn't farming, and Umpty is. He's already at 4 camps, will be 5 after he takes these wolves. His bot lane has secured a plate and got the wave crashing in as well. Now, Keria and Zeus will be able to get a little bit more. APA looking for the damage onto Owner. No one tanking yet. Flashes away from the heroic charge. It's Faker tanking. Last Embrace comes down. And the tower aggro juggling from T1 is sublime. They find a kill in the mid lane.
Reminiscent of that game number 1 where APA on his ASO got dove very early on. Poppy is in the game again. And it's a gambit from T1. If that play doesn't work out, Owner is going to be even further behind. Still in the 1v1, feeling rough. But Faker gets a crucial early kill.
Yeah, and Owner's got his 3 camps on his red side. Got a little turned around in the opening of this one, but APA again going down for the first blood. Again, all the focus towards mid lane and towards getting Faker to a very stable start of a game. Once again, we saw how well that turned out for T1 in game number 1.
One of the big things that we've talked about a lot is the Cassante, the safety it provides you as core JJ. He's going to run into Owner here, but probably decide that he doesn't want to really deal with that. But the power of the Vayne, as we see there in the plates, is so big because she can just auto away and away and away, offers way more pressure on the actual turret in the plates than a Cassante does early on in the game.
All right, on the swap back here from Team Liquid, Jan facing down Keria, as Umpty goes into another clear because of the early Wolves start and the early Wolf respawn.
I mean, the important part for Umpty is getting to that level 6, right? As soon as you have the Lilting Lullaby, you flash, you Q, and you can get a 4-man, 5-man sleep. If he can manage that in a fight around a Drake, all of this early game has been perfect for TL. The issue is, of course, APA is struggling a little bit in the mid lane. There've been more plates for T1 in the bot lane than TL were able to manage to grab in the top side.
All right, all the extra gold over here in mid lane. See how much that turns into, how much it turns into in the hands of Zeus. Again, these T1 solo laners have been very, very powerful, and yet we've got a Lily over here with a pretty nice experience advantage, and now he goes for his first recall to reset. And Umpty will head down towards the bottom half of the map with Dragon already available. They definitely could start stacking
How are
early.
we feeling in terms of stress levels, Kobe? No stress?
Since I saw you this morning, it was already at maximum stress.
It's been the whole day.
Your face,
My face?
your face, fully stressed out, Kobe.
How can you beat something that's so beautiful? That's the problem,
Exactly.
right? for TL
Okay,
here.
calm down, guys. We're trying to focus on the game.
I can't even look at you. It's like staring at the sun.
Please stop. Trying to set up for a tie for his Owner. Not going to find anything. APA nicely hovering towards the bottom half of the map. Umpty, thanks to that power clearing, about 75% towards the level 6. Going to be a really big spike for Lilia. The second spike you're always looking towards with these AP junglers is the moment they finish their first item, because that is when... Oh, the
Flash again, Jimmy usually cleanses early. Nice taking. Guma's down. It's a 2v2 for Jan and Core JJ.
Core JJ and Yon, they do it in a critical game here. Dragon is being taken already by Umpty. Of course, Owner is going to trade on top side of the map, but Core JJ is not even done. Looking around here, they can call Umpty.
Oh, he doesn't have W.
Umpty stopped.
So he went for the Scuttle Crab to hit level 6 instead of going for the Dragon, I believe, Kobe. Now they're looking for the flank here, trying to catch Guma as he gets back into the lane, but Guma wisely has pathed and opened up through mid. He's at his Razor Beaks right now.
Critical timing window here then. Not made by TL, not burning down the Dragon. And the controller in the back there too gives the info to T1. Guma is able to go on mid, help him clear out some of those wards as well.
Really good read there from T1, because Guma didn't have summoners. He was basically 100% dead if he does walk into that lane. And Guma has been the one stalwart member that has been so insanely consistent for T1 in the tournament, where they really are struggling as a trap. We're seeing the pings go down.
So will they go for it? They're trying to catch out Owner. Umpty going in, Lilting Lullaby on 2. Remember, Guma has no summoners. Faker's here for the collapse. The shockwave's only going to land to Core J. Umpty trying to put the damage down. Core J's running for the hills. No flash for him, no ignite either. Umpty almost gets shocked into the wall as Keria joins the battle. APA from across the side. Umpty continues to dash and dive. The bait's call, they're chasing Guma. And Jan dashes over the wall. And Guma's buried in his own jungle by TL.
The level 6 on Lilia, the advantage that Umpty. Well, he's gonna take a lot of spears. That is a tanky boy.
It's fine for the moment, but what a play by TL once again. It was smart by T1 to keep Guma away, but then TL found their man.
But it's T1 also. This is one of the biggest pieces of criticism this team has faced over the last 2 years. Being over-aggressive as here, Core, the Q buffer into the flash. Guma late on the cleanse, doesn't actually, and then flashes when he's effectively already dead.
He does not instantly flash after his cleanse. Everything was mistimed right there, but Core JJ hits.
Umti's no mana.
Yeah, Umti has smite though. So
Well, yeah.
I think even with
Worried
the call
about
of the
the
Forge
fight.
God, Umti coming in, there's the call of the Forge God, it's gonna land onto him. Last embrace as well, will root him up, and Umti goes down. Guma finds him, Core JJ looking for more as Jon joins the battle from the bottom side, but he's knocked up. Carrier looking for a little bit more of this piece of the pie as Ona dashes in. Hammer shock, hammer smash, Core JJ dodges the last embrace but can't dodge the clap back from Carrier.
The previous engage, over-aggressive from T1. This time it's Umti that oversteps on the Lilia. Goes for the objective.
Jon! No way does Jon do this to cleanse away! He tries to get out from Ona, but the steadfast presence will stop him in his tracks. It was so close! The brink of a knife beyond there.
Poppy is too strong. The W goes up and Jon goes down. Both summoner spells and T1. Wait, impact?
Zeus isn't tanking. He can just ghost and run away, even with the all-out. I'm not sure that Impact can chase him down. The condemn out. Zeus has to burn the ghost and his ultimate to escape.
But T1, they just could layer and layer and layer onto this gold lead that they have, and Zeus wants even more.
Gonna get
Impact
the
has to burn
ghost.
his sum, yep.
Oh, but that is so crucial for T1 because I think that TL, thinking that they were in a position where they can keep pushing. You don't want to give T1 to get the time to get back into the game, but they overstep. And now all of a sudden, T1 is sitting on a 2K gold lead. Guma is 100% back in the game, and TL, it all starts with this dragon.
Yeah, so much money here for T1. They take out the Lilia, and then they chase down Core JJ in the long chase. We already know this one. There's not too much fancy stuff that goes on, but let's take a look at the re-engage from Jon.
Because Jon wants to try and get something here, sees that the health bars are low, but again, you are playing into the Poppy. You can't go that far up. Impact.
Yeah, no ghost for him. Even Q3 won't save him from this, and APA TPing in as he tries to join the fight. Zeus has only the flash to escape this. Umti joins the battle, but the Keeper's Verdict knocks him back into his place. Yeeted out as APA flashes onto the satchel. Can Zeus get in time? Umti looking at the Lilting Lullaby, but now he's going into his demise. Last Embrace will lock him up for a second, and the Dawning Shadow spells his doom.
T1 have had enough of North America. They are smashing this early game. Look at that gold lead. The whole tower has been destroyed on the bottom side of the map while they simultaneously make the picks on the top side.
This is they're going in. This is the T1 that was expected as they're not done.
Core JJ has no way out of this apart from the face call, but will it be enough? Faker, no shockwave, face call across the wall. Core JJ hits onto the red buff, but that's another ultimate used just to escape.
Yeah, he gets out, but that is a lot of resource being used, and T1 still getting access to 6 grubs. And this is what a lot of people, including me, were expecting coming into today. Even with T1 struggling, their early aggression has been one of the big ways that they took down teams like Gen G, took them to 5 games.
Going in, Lilting Lullaby. Onto Ona as well. Umti, watch out, Eep as he dashes forward. Jon here to join the party, caught up in the last Embrace. Ona doesn't have the flash. In fact, it only has the Hex to try and escape. Umti looking for the Scuttle Crab. Guma keeping him at bay.
Going to be very dangerous now for Team Liquid, even to farm their waves on the bottom half of the map.
Flash from Ona, can't quite land the hammer shock into the wall. But it's such aggression from T1 now. Jon in the mid lane, Shockwave pulls him back. He dances back underneath his tower, but can't attack enough from Faker. Zeus finds another in the top lane, healed up as well with the piercing darkness. And you just can't kill him. Zeus in the end falls to Core JJ, but Guma's here and Ona's on the chase. Core JJ locked up with a hammer smash and nowhere for him to go. He'll be dashed against the rocks by T1, 11-3 the score.
Oh, Zeus is having fun on his vein now. 1.5K, his individual gold lead up there after those kills. Guma as well with all of this fighting. He is mad stacking these souls way quicker.
He's at 50, has been involved with 9 of the 11 kills. has just been stacking up to his heart's extent. I feel like a lot of the tension that had been building the last couple of games, game 2 and 3 in particular, so close, so back and forth, but we're watching it kind of deflate in front of our eyes as T1. This lead is starting to, I'm saying starting to feel insmart. It's 6K at 13 minutes, and look at the T1 comp. There's Vayne, there's Orianna, there's Ornn!
Yon has no flash and no hope of escaping. Zeus finds another in the mid lane, set up for him. A slam dunk by Carrier. Guma now with the opportunity, finished. APA trying to push out the top lane. You can see CoreJJ waiting in the wings. Perhaps Faker overset, perhaps we can find something. But meanwhile, your mid lane tier 2 is raised to the ground by Zeus. Carrier's looking for more.
Carrier's Ornn has been so clean. Zeus finishes up that tower in mid lane. He actually is just going to push the next wave. So Carrier himself is able to keep Team Liquid away from that scuttle crab, and he just calls Owner over to finish that one off as well.
We do see not a lot of control left here for Team Liquid. Gonna try and set up these brushes, try and set up some traps, but T1 not going to get caught off guard, at least for now. Faker, though, is walking up, checking everything with the ball. Haven't checked those brushes yet. Owner is on his way. I think they might have an inkling, but he does walk up.
Faker steps forward. CoreJJ there with the crash down. Knocked back with the satchel. Shockwave, though, as Faker survives for much longer than he has any damn right to. Faker's on a rampage. The Dawning Shadow helping out as CoreJJ has to retreat. Still not level 6. And Faker finds another. A double for him. 5-0-1 on the Orianna.
You're not ganking Faker. He's ganking you. And now Yon's on the run as well through his own jungle. There goes Umpty.
Umpty's getting chased down by the support. Yes, he's been farming his Guma. Face checks into Yon, who flashes forward. The render shut down. And Yon can be happy with a single kill, because Owner will not let him have another.
Yon's gonna say, Worf, I got the shutdown, guys. Unfortunately, the rest of the map struggling, although Faker may be punished here.
Faker, you got no mana. And APA doesn't have enough vision to collapse any further. Owner's, he's hex flashing. He wants the tower, and he'll get it, but APA is now there. The Hexplosive Minefield there to help out. TP immediately by TL, but Owner, steadfast presence in the phase rush enough for him to just waltz his way out.
T1's, they're playing it fast and loose with this one. Carrier TPing in, gonna ult for the wave clear.
Okay, knocked back with the Tofus. Like, he can still wave clear this. Owner's hit across the side. Another TP as Faker comes back. And Team Liquid realize perhaps they've overstepped a tad. The Shockwave will pull CoreJJ out, and he flashes into Gumayushi.
And that tower was already assassinated, so T1 with full control of the top side of the map as TL, Umpty, tries to bring some focus here. He's on an objective, but it's a bounty. Zeus is here, and he's not going to let you have that.
You can just chase in. They don't have the hard CC for him as he dashes and dances and weaves his way around. Umpty already so low. A final shot with the silver bolts pierces through the heart of not only Umpty, but also NA. CoreJJ lands the Shadowing Strike to try and dash across the wall. He's still level 5, as you say. What are you doing here, Core?
We're 16 minutes in!
Gets another. Yon almost falls to Gumayushi. He's gonna ward it. Oh, it doesn't quite hit. The piercing dart across the wall. Meanwhile, in the top lane, we're still fighting as Impact will take out Carrier. APA low on mana, but has enough for a single bomb. And now he's knocked into the wall. Faker waiting for the command attack, holding it up.
Oh,
Steps into the bush. Satchel charge away by APA, but there's no escape for him today.
They're having fun out there now. It is an absolute massacre, and it is 16:43. 4, 5, 6, 16:47! Come on, Kobe.
I didn't know what you were going for there, but it's
Get it together. That's not the focus. This series up until this point felt like it was
this
winnable.
Game kind of is.
This game, okay,
Yeah.
this game.
This is the one game I'll give you that feels like it's over. The other ones,
Really? Would you?
like, the other
I'd
ones
say so.
played so well, though. It was such a close call in a couple of those games, and
All right, okay. Hear me out. I've seen teams lose from a 10K advantage. Okay.
Atlas is hoping he keeps his hair after this one. Face call out, Shockwave Yon. Sacrifice to save CoreJJ, who's only just tinged over to level 6 while Guma's 9. Zeus opening up as Umpty flashes, lilting lullaby. Finds a two-man sleep. Dawning Shadow gives him a bit of a shield. Zeus hits with a Mega Inferno bomb. He dances away from Impact. Owner trying to do the same, has to burn his flash. Impact still chasing in, but Zeus, ooh, the final silver bolt, not enough to proc Impact to his grave. 6 speed under, can't quite land the swirl seed, and in the end, Zeus falls in a 1-for-1. Guma's collapsing though alongside Faker. APA on the wrong side of the rift. We'll have to try and dodge away. Ona looks for it, Hex Splash forward. APA has a one-man army in front of him, a one-man wrecking ball in the form of this Poppy.
But he's just running!
Just keep going!
I feel like
all him, APA! Hit him! Hit him!
Oh! The Q!
Oh. He probably has Steadfast Presence back up so he can just run
he's
away.
also Poppy.
Meanwhile, in the top lane, Yon and CoreJJ are trying to kill Carrier, and they'll do it!
I feel like this game is cathartic. All of the stress of this entire series is getting released in this final game. Everyone is just scrambling for kills.
Oh, and when you're in this sort of a hole against T1, you have to try and find some way out. TL very good. When they find a mistake from their enemy, they can suffocate them out of the game. The problem is now they need 11,000 gold worth of mistakes.
I also don't
T1.
think T1 is playing for suffocation. I think this is T1 taking out their anger, as Kobe put it as well. Here, crucially, the ultimate from the Senna gives so much extra time, and particularly when you're a champion like Vayne that can just keep tumbling and tumbling, using the Ghost to extend the fight. If you get enough silver ball procs, and you can win basically everything, as we see here. Unfortunately, I was excited to see his Lilia, but it hasn't really delivered.
That was such a good tumble into the back of the wall on the Dragon Pit for the very quick auto
the short
there.
Tumble. All out coming out from Impact. I think Shockwave available for Faker right now as Team Liquid lose their top laner. The chase continues. Faker wasn't even in the play. I'm as scrambled as the teams are, I'm sure at this point.
You want me to take over some play?
Go, Kobe. You can do it.
Carrier's coming in! Support Ornn! You never seen this
And that's it. Oh, APA! Wait, he has a 6-package, he can get it!
Bombs!
Ignore the base!
Yeah, T1
just keep on
pushing
going.
through mid here. Faker's going to TP to the bot lane to stop. Ripped out, charged in. That will be the inhib tower falling. T1 looking for more. They have 6 grubs, so a bunch of mites helping out with this attack. They might just go for that top lane inhib tower. APA getting chased out by Faker. No TP on either of them. The inhib in the top lane. The next target for T1. Looking for a lilting lullaby, but can't get close enough to hit enough people. The engage from CoreJJ enough to shut down Zeus. There's one. The charge away though by Ona. Riptail didn't survive for long enough for him to get in. Ona falls asleep in the middle of the fight. Not an advisable thing to do, I'll tell you, but he's able to escape for the moment because the last embrace will lock up Impact. Bates call out, CoreJJ in. Gumayushi has to flash away as APA joins the fray. Yon and APA will take another.
Shut down!
T1 enough for Team Liquid to get back on the board. The shutdowns rain down, but it's still a 10,000 gold lead.
No, it's only a 10,000 gold lead. I'll push down for, what was it, 12?
It is 34 kills at 21 minutes. I think we keep this pace up and see how long we can go. Here's another look at the fun times as CoreJJ goes in onto Zeus. They finally lock up and kill that Vayne.
Crucially here is that the fight is very segmented because T1, they don't really want to commit to this. They got the 2 inhibs, so it's really a 1-by-1-by-1. And the gold lead doesn't matter as much because Faker isn't there, and if Impact can just tank the damage, take down every single member individually. Now it's Guma, CoreJJ, and Impact weave in and out, and Yon in particular doesn't really get threatened in this fight, which means they have the necessary damage output to take him down.
All right, remember that clip, boys. When we have the most miraculous comeback.
If you come back from this position, TL are the best team in the world, my man. CoreJJ locked against the wall, Ona knocked back. Ona has that steadfast presence, Baron up for T1 if they want to start it, and they're going to do exactly that, it seems. Vision in the pit for TL, now denied by T1. Team Liquid, any last vestige of hope you feel dies if this Baron goes over to the world champs. Carrier on the backside of the pit, clearing out the control ward. Can steal? He has the flash. Can he get in?
I mean, that would be critical.
Keeper's verdict. TL judged guilty by T1. Ona yeets them out. The Mega Inferno Bomb not enough to take it as Ona secures it with the smite.
All 3, Owner? Oh my god, that Poppy ultimate. just to ensure that they will secure the Baron, and now they're going to come for a few more. Teleport to the bottom side for Keria. He's actually focused on objectives
the flank
still.
angle. There's a couple of members here behind enemy lines. Core trying to look.
And this is what you got to do in this sort of position.
The third inhib is about to fall.
The third inhib's about to fall. Very unlikely you come back from this sort of deficit, but Team Liquid are going to give it a hell of a try. Core JJ still on the flank. T1 don't know that he is waiting in the wings. He's waiting there for them. But the shockwave engage immediately chunks out Appa and Umti. APA low, the Magnus Storm. Is it enough? Can Umti get the Loathing Lullaby down? They'll find one. Guma full, so does Ona, but the Nexus Towers have followed suit. Impact dashing in, and Zeus dashing out with a flash and a ghost and a final hour. T1 only have 3 members left alive, but Zeus is one of those, and he's able to dance and weave his way just on the edge of Umti's awareness. Core JJ forced back to the fountain, and T1 will extinguish the hopes of NA and have a date with destiny against G2.
We just had 2 hard-fought, extremely close games in this series back-to-back, and then followed up with an absolute fiesta. What a slaughter all over the map. T1 pushing the pace of that game. And I think Zeus especially had a lot of fun in that one, but everybody involved, kills all over the place, and T1 will finish the series in style.
T1, they get the free one, but I think you can see it in the faces. I think you could see it on Koma's face as well. This was a team that coming into the tournament, there was always going to be a lot of expectations. They are the defending world champions, and that game 2 and 3 in particular is something that is still going to cause a lot of doubts. And for TL, it might not have been enough, but even the first game, I think, was relatively close. Not going to give them the victory, but they had a great run.
Some very good showings from Team Liquid. I think they'd be very proud of their MSI performance thus far, but that will not be enough to defeat world champions this time around.
The road ends here for TL. All roads lead to Faker, and in the end, he's the one that guards them. You guys are trying to turn on the wrong mic. Remember, I'm on the other one.
Medic's talking right now, but I don't know if it's going out live or not.
It should be. My mic is the same one I've used the whole series, guys. Can you not hear me?
No.
Okay, well, you guys talk and I'm going to shut up then.
Kobe and I are still here. In the end,
maybe
T1,
they could hear him and we just couldn't.
I mean, that's fine, but now I'll be quiet. You guys
it's completely fine. Then we're the problem. Wouldn't be the first time, Kobe, in my case at least. And we're going to head over to the Endless Desk to close out the day after this 3-1 victory by T1.
Team Liquid falling out of MSI versus the world champion. They took a bow there and got quite a big applause as well from the home crowd for the fight they
disappointed.
put up.
I mean, yeah, I think this is a really weird series where both teams come out really disappointed, right? Because TL obviously came into this series like Team Liquid is not the type of team who is going to be like, we took a series off EU, we're content, right? Like they came in, they fully expected to take this series, talking to the players. They were very confident. I think they look at the way the games went and they know that they had a chance in a lot of those games, save a few mistakes. And I think on the flip side, T1 is also very disappointed with their performance.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think you can look at it both ways. You can look at it as like, this was really hard, again, just like it was versus G2. And in the game where it matters, we can count on each other and bring it home. But if you look across at everything and you think about things, you know, as a coach, as team cohesion and like reactions after that, I think that's why we're left with a kind of a weird taste. Even